Good evening, everybody. Happy birthday to me. I can't sing that. That's actually copyrighted. And all my fellow Aries, there's so many of you that are also celebrating birthdays today or are Aries. I've been seeing in the comments.
I know Mama Peggy.
Mama Peggy, happy birthday.
And Edie Aries too, right?
Is Edie an Aries?
I could have sworn is
Oh, we missed hers.
Yeah, when's Edie's birthday?
Aries moon or something like that.
I could have sworn Edie was an Aries.
I say that. Everybody I know is Aries or Libra.
Edie sent me a beautiful bouquet of flowers today. Beautiful roses. And I had to put it up away from the kitties because they wouldn't leave it alone.
Happy birthday to Johnny.
This guy won't leave him alone.
He don't care at all.
He doesn't care at all. He's purring. He's like Johnny. He's well named, little Johnny Fortescue. Look, I can make him smile bigger.
I'm fed.
I could probably throw a towel over his head when he's laughing too, and he wouldn't care. You're smiling. I see you smiling. Oh my, what a day. Got my free Starbucks. Had an extra shot of coffee put in it since it was free today. So I'm a little jacked up.
Or Taurus, yes. Everybody I know is Libra, Aries, or Taurus. All my nieces are Scorpio. Okay.
Allie's in the chat, but we can't see her. I was talking to her today. She's saying that for some reason she can't chat in the chat.
Retrograde.
Yeah, that little bastard. But yeah, she says happy birthday, Jenny.
Oh,
she's watching.
Thank you, Allie. Allie's treated me to Starbucks for the rest of the month. I got my free one today, so I won't be dipping into that till later.
And then, yeah, Mercury retrograde for sure. Johnny was having issues with his ribs yesterday.
I put them in the thing, and then I'm like, okay, I can walk away, and then they'll be done by the time I walk back. I go in there, and they just as raw as they can be. I'm like, ain't nothing was cooking. I turned everything on. I swear I did. They were warm, but they were raw, so I had to start all over again. They're fine now, though.
Hey, Johnny, was it
real?
It had to be because they were something was happening because it was on keep warm, which means a function happened, and then I go back and.
Spiritual Sean, yes, we had a lovely weather day today here, so it was good to get out of the house a little bit. Thank you, Mrs. Katura. So we're live tomorrow night on my channel again, so come back tomorrow night. And you can continue posting questions on my community tab posts. Because we'll need a lot more for tomorrow night. I wrote down everything for tonight. What we don't get to tonight, we'll probably do tomorrow night, but I'll need more for tomorrow night. I don't have too much else going on. I've been lazy today.
Yeah. It's nice to be sometimes.
Birthdays. I've been a skewy today. You just don't care.
Braxy and I went for a walk. Braxy made some friends. We came home. She took a nap, and then I took a nap. We're both lazy. And now she's down there with Peanut.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this video later to catch all the birthday wishes from everybody. Thank you so much. 63 today. Beth Cat, who is my age, she's a Gemini though. I've known her since 4th grade. She said, quit saying 64. You're making me a year older. 63 today.
I took a nap too, and I slept on my arm, so now it's all
numb.
Numb.
Is it numb or
I can work on it again for you, Johnny, and get it all moving around again.
Is it numb, Johnny, or is it the pins and needles?
No, it's just no. It's just here, mind you, because this has been an hour now, so it's or two or what, I don't know. I was up all day and all night, so I went to sleep when the sun came up. I did when the sun came up.
Dear Lord.
That's how I work. I hide from the sun.
Because you're a vampire.
Yes,
just like
the white ball of death, as it calls. I can't.
We would make great vampires, Johnny.
Oh,
you and
I could.
Halloween, you have your costume now.
I did.
Yeah, it would just be great to be like a real vampire, because there's a whole bunch of people that I could. I have.
It's hard to talk with fangs in, though. You know, it's like, yeah, in the movies they learn to talk with their fangs in. But come on, when are they going to make a movie where a vampire lisps over his fangs all the time?
I have a whole list of people that I would eat. I'm sure they would taste horrible, but you know.
Well, you don't have to eat them you eat them as a werewolf, not a vampire.
Well, I mean, you suck them dry.
Well, that's
you know, so you're kind of eating them.
That's different.
You know, got a whole list. I just wish I had superpowers.
You do. You make Johnny laugh.
Okay. Ain't hard to do.
And me.
Making Johnny laugh is not hard to do at all.
It's our goal every Sunday night. And everybody survived the eclipse. I see nobody in chat got raptured up.
That's just, I was so mad about that. We're stuck with the crazies, y'all. We're stuck with the crazies.
Either that or God left all y'all behind, and
yeah, you're not special enough. You're not special enough. I was seeing all these things on Twitter where people were saying to go get like clothes from Goodwill and just dump it around the parking lot in a church, so people think people got raptured and they got left behind.
Doing it at church where they burned all the Bibles that we read on last Sunday, Johnny. Look, here goes Skewy. Woo! I'm rapturing you. He's like, quit rapturing me up.
Oh, Lord.
And the cicadas haven't come out yet, right?
No, they're saying anytime in April through June here in Illinois. And
okay.
we've got the overlap. We're getting the 13-year and the 17-year. So they're saying thousands and trillions.
Trillions,
and,
yeah.
I texted Becca, the cicadas have a fungi. And the fungi causes first this white plug to come out of them. And then their sex organs fall off. And I said, why can't these Republican men get that fungi?
And then, yeah, and I texted Jen, I'm like, sexually transmitted fungi disease in cicadas. Like, I mean, you know, you can't make it up. You can't make it up.
So, birds, mammals is a very large category, but birds is too, I suppose, as well as bats, wasps, and spiders and mantises eat cicadas. Right. So they're not immune. So bring on the trillions, I suppose. It's just more food for the bats and the wasps and the birds and the mantises.
If they pick up the fungi, maybe then, like bats and stuff, maybe they'll transmit it over to some humans and rapture them up.
Yeah. We would only go.
Because, you know, in Arizona, they want to go back to 1864. So let's just give them a fungus.
Did you see the segment from Chris Hayes on the guy that wrote that law? That 1864 law? Yeah, it turns out the guy was a serial child rapist.
Of course.
left his first wife and 2 kids, just left him somewhere in the Midwest, then went and married a 12-year-old Mexican girl, and then left her and then got married to another 11 or 10-year-old girl. And then they passed a law that it's rape if it's a female over 10 years old.
Oh.
So I guess anybody under 10 is fair game. I posted it on my community page, Jen, if you missed it, but it's just insanity that they just plucked it out of the ether and they're like, yep, let's use this,
Well, was it Louisiana that said, no, you can't go after priests that sexually abused a child now?
I just sent
that's okay.
I just sent you that article that you can't sue a preacher that has been molesting teachers because or a preacher that has been molesting children because something about they are property. I'm like, excuse me. And then you all sit there and point the finger at the Democrats because we're the, what do they call us? The groomers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the transgender in the bathroom, not the preacher in the pulpit.
And then there's the other state that just passed a law that you can marry your cousins and stuff. I'm like, y'all are going to end up looking like Marjorie Taylor Greene with your eyeballs this close because your cousin is your dad,
They'll either look like
it's called Moscow
MPG.
March on Twitter all day, the other day.
Or they'll start looking like Melania Alien.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Tennessee Republicans are fighting for the right to marry their first cousins. Y'all are going to be
historically how that's worked so well in the.
To all those who don't live in this country, we're not all like that, please.
Well, I mean, you have Rudy Giuliani who married his cousin, and then Newt Gingrich left his wife to marry his cousin. His wife who was dying of cancer, but please go ahead and tell me about your Christian values and how we should all follow your moral guidelines.
And we're not all Southern, not all like that.
I was telling Bethcat earlier, I said, my head can't even hold all the news in it anymore. I'm getting cases mixed up in my head. And thank you, CC Ryder, if you're in chat tonight, straightening me out last week because I was confusing stories. It's just so much. I can't hold it all in my head anymore.
My disclaimer is I'm not a reporter. I don't write.
I'm not either. But it's just like watching a slow moving train wreck, And then with that barbaric thing that they did in Arizona, the Supreme Court, now they're all not wanting to go anywhere near that with a 10-foot pole. So now the evangelicals are getting pissed off at them because they won't go. That's not far enough. It needs to be nationwide, but they don't want to touch it because they know how toxic it is and they're going to lose elections. And, oh, by the way, you're killing people, But
as soon as they win their elections, they would touch it, And
this is what I don't understand. If we know that the abortion issue is a huge thing, I get it. The Nikki Haley was not a candidate before this happened, or she was a candidate, but she's no longer the Republican candidate before. Yes. Yeah, I did. Before this whole thing in Arizona happened, but she was in favor of a nationwide abortion ban. So how did she still get 20-something% of the vote when she's coming out and saying, I am for a national abortion ban? So were the polls wrong? Were they not polling the right people? Because right now the whole anti-abortion thing is toxic. It is absolutely toxic. And it gets worse because these Republican states just keep trying to one up each other on how extreme they can get, and to think that anybody, like we were just talking, Johnny, how can anybody that's a regular person, if you're not a multi-billionaire who can just take your family out of the country, how can anybody support the Republican Party at this point? And it's not just abortions. Now it's IVF. And then it's going to be contraceptions. And pretty soon they're going to try to ban condoms. So then we're going to have a whole health crisis with STDs running rampant. I don't understand. I don't
Come on,
understand.
fungus. Come on, fungus.
Start making people's penises fall off. I mean, dear God.
Well, I mean, I know, I'm from Tennessee originally. I know Tennessee has a lot of old, what do they call those? The zombie laws or whatever, the old laws. Beth Cat and I were talking about it earlier. They still have on the books in Tennessee that oral sex is illegal. It's like, you got to watch everybody in their bedrooms, or you got to wait and catch them in the act, or what?
I heard that Texas has that law where you can only have no more than 6 adult toys in your home. Are they sending auditors out to people's houses to check how many dildos you have? Like, I mean, get out of here right now. And then they're talking also, Jen, we should look at the Comstock Act, because that's the next thing that these anti-abortion groups want to, it's one of those zombie laws that they want to resurrect to have a nationwide abortion ban. So I don't know if you want to put that on your list, but if the Democrats were smart, when they have power, they should just kill that law dead and buried to not give it a chance to ever be resurrected.
What's so really, I mean, the hypocrisy. There's so many Republican lawmakers, I mean, Republican waste of timers, that have paid for their mistresses to have abortions and stuff. It's crazy.
Paxton was using taxpayer dollars to pay for his mistress. But please tell us that you're the moral authority on family Christian values. I mean, I don't know, Jen. I don't know. Start regulating DICKs and let's see how quickly this conversation comes to an end. But
Z, you're going to be sent to the cornfields in a minute.
What did Z say? I missed it.
Knock, knock, I'm your dildo inspector.
Yeah, the dildo police in Texas. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing.
Well, if I can get this guy out of the way, let's do some readings.
Bye, Skewy. Bye, little Johnny.
Little Johnny Fortescue. Little lover boy. Okay. So they presented in the House a bill to rename the D.C. airport, the Dulles Airport, after Trump. And then the Democrats presented a bill to name the prison in Florida after Trump. Are either of these going to get passed?
Let me mute myself here.
A federal corrections facility, I should say, in Florida. I didn't think it was up to Congress to name an airport. I would think that's a state thing. Yeah, I just did my taxes. Trump's tax cut costs me more every year.
Well, it's supposed to keep going up till the year 2027.
Yeah, unless we can flip that house and get that changed.
It's not like the Republicans have done a damn thing anyways, other than sham impeachment trials and circus clown shows. And I'm just ready for this to stop. Like, I am exhausted. Like, just exhausted. You know, my 5 and 6 year old nephews are more well behaved and well mannered than these clowns.
Good no. The Eight of Swords in the Moon. There is restriction and no clear path forward. Ends in the Hangman. So, yeah. Although, if I wanted to be heady, I was having this conversation yesterday with the group about how can you be a pro-Trump Donald Trump reader on, because there are some. in our space that do readings on Donald Trump, and they are fantastic. You know, they turn out just fantastic for him. He's a hero. He's going to be vindicated. He's Jesus 2.0 type of thing. And I say you can take anything with the tarot or any card, period, because it's the way you want to read it. You can twist it to say anything. So I'm going to do that right now. I just want y'all to know that. They could name the jail after him, because there's the Eight of Swords is the card of entrapment and incarceration. So, so maybe then, but that's not what it says.
I gotta know. I just pulled one card, but no.
I'm getting when there's a win, a victory in the courts against the loser Trump, that something will get named, some institution. There's going to be something new, and it feels like it's like something like in DOJ, like a division, like tax fraud building or something.
or they'll have to pass new laws, even though we already have the Donald Trump Act, so that we don't have another president like him, where a hijacked Congress works as an arm for him to help him with a coup or something. I mean,
it's because it's written somewhere that these things are not written down because they were supposed to be explicitly implied. That you don't do this, you don't do this, and you don't do that as president of the United States, but it's not written down because it's supposed to be, it goes with the territory, it's supposed to be implied. You don't cause an insurrection against your own country and like.
Well,
anyway.
That is kind of like in the law, Johnny. The whole peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah, no.
That's not the law, but it's like you said, it's implied. Every other president before Mr. I have presidential immunity for everything has followed that because it's tradition, and you do it out of courtesy and respect for your country. So
there's a reason you always see George Bush and Bill Clinton and Obama and Carter work together. No, Donald Trump. Why? Because one of these things is not like the other. Mm-hmm. Even George Bush and all of his shenanigans and his reputation and all of that, he still had the protocol of president from one person to another. Him and Obama didn't go into a boxing match in the middle of the Oval Office. So anyway, moving on.
Okay, so Alabama and Ohio may not put Biden on the ballot in the fall. Because they have a deadline, and they account for 26 electoral votes. They have a deadline that's before the Democratic National Convention, which is not until August. Now, normally what's happened in the past when that's happened, they take a provisional certification and then it's validated after the convention. But they're saying, oh no, we're following the law. We can't accept a provisional certification in Alabama and Ohio. So I want to know, will Alabama and or Ohio, either one, keep Biden off the ballot this fall? And what the hell are the Dems doing, scheduling it way off in August anyway? But I mean, it's happened the other way. They've always done provisional ballots for Republicans when that happens. Not that he would have won either of those states anyway, but
Amen.
And Biden's lawyers are trying to work it out with them.
Alabama and Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
For Ohio, I get higher ground, so he'll be fine there. And for the other one, I get the sun, so he'll be fine there too.
I get a yes. I get the lilies, the ring, and the birds. That's a yes. It's going to take some negotiation, but it's a continuation. I don't know if they're going to take this up to the Supreme Court of the state or something, because I got the lilies here. But yes, they'll be on there.
That's what I'm getting. It's going to a higher court, because this isn't done yet. They're going to have to legally take it up higher, and there will be an agreement. But I do think they're going to try to burden voters in some other way. But there's a higher court that it'll go to.
And it's, you know, at this point, Trump's going to try every dirty trick in the book. They just had, was it Nebraska or Nevada, where they were trying to get them to change the electoral count at the last minute, and then it got stopped. I don't know if it stopped completely or if it stopped temporarily, you know, but it's just like this guy, he knows he's effed. That's why they're already ramping up the election fraud. We've seen this before. We've done this dance before in 2016 and in 2020. It's just get ready for the repeat, the rerun that nobody wants to see, you know. But now they're getting a little bit more creative and trying to like stronghold or strong arm or convince states to do this and do that and get rid of this electoral and, you know, keep them off the ballot here, and kind of like count the votes, stop the count the votes, stop the, like we had back in, remember that fiasco?
Well, and now, you know, Trump is encouraging RFK Jr. Because if neither Biden nor Trump get to 269, then the House gets to decide who's going to be president. So I want to know, will the Electoral College, excuse me, will the Electoral College votes decide who is president? Will someone reach the 270? Ooh, that's a yes.
Yes, and it will be contested by the King of Swords.
It's the same old
your Ace of Swords, your clarity, so it's going to be clear. The Page of Swords, which is the lies and the gossip, and then you have your King of Swords, who shall challenge the votes or the count because of defeat. Five of Swords.
I get the House. Oh, there's Beth Cat. Hi, Beth Cat.
Yes.
I get the House, the lilies, and the scythe. The members, the conservative members, the Puritans in the House are going to be cut off from making that decision. So they don't have any say. So yes, the Electoral College will be clear on which way.
Yeah, I get that too. A big yes, success there. But in secret, those that aren't satisfied, they're already colluding on taking an action against this to try to burden everything. And America will see Trump loses, the loser, but he is going to stir something up and try to take it to the courts. He's out of luck taking it to a higher court. He's completely out of luck. Like, it won't even go to the Supreme Court.
How the hell is he paying for courts and all this other stuff when he can't even make $175 million bail? Because
Bibles, Becca, Bibles.
him and that one guy try to scam the court on the bail money, the $175 million that they lowered it to. Him and that hanky panky guy try to scam him, because in the paperwork, first of all, it wasn't like they couldn't find the money or whatever. And then when they looked further, I guess the way it works is if you lose the bail, the person that takes the bail ends up paying it, right? No, in this bail, he said that Trump is going to pay it. You know, so it's just like you try to pull a fast one on the courts, and denied. You know, how is he paying for it besides Bibles? Because
he's got this week to come up with his. So I want to know: will Judge Bershon accept Trump's bond? Not Bershon.
And Goron. Yeah.
Will he accept the bond? Will Trump get it done legally? In other words.
And the swords fell out. What does that mean?
Thank you, Milford.
I watched that Lawrence O'Donnell show the other day when he was making fun of Trump's makeup. Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. He roasted him so bad. He was like, and this is what the jury is going to see next week. You know, like all his brown makeup and stuff with his pink ears that don't match. He's he was so petty.
Who does his makeup? Like Stevie Wonder? What is this?
Dude, and that picture that Lawrence O'Donnell had was so bad. It looked like Trump literally reached in his diapers and found whatever was in there and smeared it on his face. Like it was that nasty.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Roberta.
I get eventually. Ten of Swords flew out. That's a no. Hangman is also a no, but the Star is a eventually because this is futuristic. So down the line, something could happen to where then he should reach. The card is definition would be success, but I don't think it would be. I mean, successful in you paying somebody $456 million or whatever it is. Yeah, eventually, way down the line, something will be accepted, but down the line. Your payment, not your bond necessarily, because isn't his bond for his appeal?
Yeah. And that's the one that got lowered to 175, and he can't make that one either.
You still owe, so I mean, if you don't, she comes and gets all your stuff.
Well, didn't they raise it back up after he did all this too?
I'm not sure.
Janie.
Because I got the Child, the Tower, and the Storks. So it was small, and then the Law, but then it gets increased. So it's like it goes back up.
I thought they already said that like it was going to go back up because they falsified records and stuff.
That's what Child, Tower, and Storks. This is like, it was small, but then it gets raised again. So.
Is that a yes, though, that they'll accept it?
No, that's saying what was small increases. So I don't think so. It's just saying it goes back up. So thank you, Jenny Bose, for Jenny's birthday present.
Yeah, this is like not sitting well at all because he keeps saying he has an abundance of money. So like, where's it hiding? And I get there might be another delay in this and trying to come up with practical ways of solving it. Trump's got another surprise coming. You know, he's going to try to start strong arm through this and fight this. But he gets burdened. They definitely come up with an agreement. So whether that's, you know, on a raised amount, thank you, Patty. They definitely come up with an agreement, but then it's like stolen funds or something. I don't think they accept it.
So what you're saying, Jenny, is he commits 10 more crimes to cover up the one crime to pay the bail on the other crime.
So Hanky Panky, who's supposedly giving him the bond money, you know, he was Bank of the Internet, which is now Axos Bank. He made his billions by, you know, overcharging. He's basically a loan shark. People that don't have good credit or no credit, you know, giving them car loans, and then he was doing illegal things by like having debt collectors contact their bosses and their family and nagging and hounding them to get paid back, and also was repossessing veterans' cars, which is illegal. And he was under investigation, or Bank of the Internet was under investigation, with ties to overseas money also, by the way. But Trump shut down the investigation. So I want to know, is the hanky-panky investigation going to get reopened again? Don Hanky, is your investigation going to get reopened again? Because you're flagging all kinds of stuff with this bond game. And also, thank you, Suzanne. The money that Trump owed to the banks when he first left office, he had $400 million in loans that was due. Hanky's the one that loaned it to him. Thank you, Karen.
Knight of Wands is progression. Here's the thing. Never mind.
Billions off of, like 278% interest on some loans and stuff. Like, who could repay? They're like, oh, well, just repay the interest and we'll cancel it. No, he did all kinds of criminal stuff.
Now, was he? I don't know. Thank you, Uma, for Jenny. I don't know about the veterans thing. I know that you can't repost somebody's car that's active military if they are deployed. I'm not so sure about veterans, because as a veteran,
that's what he was doing. It was active military members. He was doing it too.
You said veteran, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So it must have been active duty military that were, on duty overseas, that he was, repoing their cars, which is still doesn't make sense, because people that get orders overseas usually set up automatic payments with their banks. It's like,
Thank you, Lenny. So, is the investigation into Don Hanky Panky going to get reopened?
All you got to do is stay away from this one person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Not
one
that
person. It reminds me always of like comedians and celebrities who get in trouble for saying derogatory things, like slurs against the gay community, or the N-word, or talking some sort of slimy content about women, or it's like, at this point what not to say in the public space, and yet it still happens. This is the one person, and there's example after example after example of what not to do. You had this investigation swept under the rug at least a little bit. Here in this reading, it just says stalled, mind you, with the hangman. There's a perspective that may have changed on it. That perspective ends, though, with the Ten of Swords. And then here is something with the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. There is some interest. I don't know how far this is going to go, but the Knight of Cups is shallow, so it's surface level. So somebody may look at this and look at that type of thing. This may be something more so for reporters than it is anything else. And then somebody may down the line look further into this. The problem is you have sparked the curiosity that was not there before you start talking to Donald Trump. Because here is the Three of Wands, which means eventually, yes, because somebody with the Three of Wands is anticipation. The shoe will drop eventually, or the ships will come in eventually. And so then the Nine of Wands adds pressure, and the Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity for the Ace of Wands, a new action to start. All you had to do was stay away from this one person. And now
Rachel Maddow's telling all your dirt. Like it could have just quietly gone away, but no, you had to get involved in his bond, and now it's all out there again. What you getting, Becca?
I get a yes. The mountain, so it's been delayed or blocked, but then it's followed by the sun and the stars. So, like Johnny said, all you had to do was stay away from this one person. Now you got the spotlight on you.
I mean,
That's a big yes. Spotlights on him. It's like, to be practical, you're not balanced. You're a thief and you're a bully. They're taking in all this information that's coming out now again. And I'm getting like around Christmas time. This has got a Christmas wreath on it. Because everything's getting ready to change on the loans. There's steady complaints, I think. I think there's a whistleblower that's going to like blow everything up. So maybe somebody within the company that's like, I got to like tell on this guy because something, but he's going to end up in court and it's going to grow because of the work he's done. So,
hey, Jenny, I have a question. I don't know if you want to write it down for today or tomorrow. I don't know if you have it. I just thought of it and I know by the end of the show, I'm going to forget.
Okay.
Leo Leonard was subpoenaed by the Senate committee to talk about, hey, why are you funding Supreme Court justices? You know what I mean? He defied his subpoena. And look at, what's his name? Peter Navarro, that's over there begging to be let out of prison because he defied a subpoena.
Yeah.
I would love to see Leonard Leo thrown in prison for thinking he's too important to go sit.
He can buy his way out. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Cassandra. Let's look at that. Leonard Leo, how's this going to go for you? You going to end up in jail? Didn't want to talk to that was the Senate that subpoenaed him, wasn't it?
Sheldon Whitehouse and that other guy. And he was just like, it's like, okay, that's real cute. That's very cute, Leonard.
Thank you, Claudia. I love Sheldon Whitehouse. If you don't subscribe to his YouTube channel, you should.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
So will the Senate Judiciary Committee refer Leo to the DOJ for defying a subpoena?
Is he going to be a member of the F Around and Find Out group?
They need to start not playing with these fools no more.
The history is built on examples, so make another one, I say. The 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, though, the Republicans with the 2 of Cups and the High Priestess, they have secrets with this person.
Oh.
And a whole bunch of them. So they're trying to make some sort of deal possibly with Democrats to where either he can write something down or, I don't know, phone it in, hieroglyphics or something. Like they're trying to mask him too, because he's got some sort of deal or some sort of secrets. Because this is the deals card. The 2 of Cups is deals, cooperations, bonds and unions and that type of thing. And the High Priestess is anything secret that you also may sacrifice for. So you would put yourself on the chopping block for this information. And then it comes with that deal and the Republican card and the investments with the 7 of Pentacles. And so they have a vested interest in protecting this person, Ace of Cups and the 7 of Wands, trying to elevate him as well. It ends in the 8 of Wands, which is just conversation. So this continues to just go back and forth, is what I see.
I think too, like if it went to a higher court, the Supreme Court, they're going to help him out.
Of course.
Like, oh no, you don't.
He bought 6
you don't
of
have
them.
to go testify. You don't have to honor that. Thank you, Beatrice, because I get like it might end up in court. He's trying to protect himself. They're going to continue to burden him. Yes, he's showing up here as the King of Pentacles. And I get there's an abundance of subpoenas getting ready to come out, an abundance of actions that are going to be taken because of the details of the work that's been done, and it's getting a lot of attention. He's going to regret this if he doesn't do it, because of all of his corruption and secrets. They will continue to go after him. It just may take a while because he's got so many Republicans supporting him and agreeing with him right now. So there's a delay, and I think like he wants it to go to a higher court. Like, okay, let's get the people, because Clarence Thomas isn't going to recuse himself.
Why would he? Why not take the chance and go to a higher court when he owns 5 of them? Is it 5 or 6? Is it 6?
5.
Yeah, it's 6.
There's 6.
Yeah, he owns 6 of them. So those aren't Trump judges. Those are Leo's and Crow's judges. I get this is going to take a long time. It's going to be a while before a resolution. But it is going to be in the spotlight. It is going to get a lot of heat. So, no, I don't think that they will refer him.
So, Judge Sean, Trump put in a plea to reduce his felonies to misdemeanors, his 34 counts, and to present it that way to the jury as misdemeanors. Will Judge Mershon accept any of Trump's pleas to reduce his counts?
I'm so innocent. This is a witch hunt. Hey, by the way, after I've threatened you, your wife, your daughter, everybody in this court, can you please do me a favor and lower that to a misdemeanor? Thanks. Like that whole mess with Engoron, you did that to yourself, and he doesn't with Mershon, and Mershon ain't playing, and he's over there punching the guy in the face, and then when he needs something, hey, can you do me this solid? As if anybody is going to do you a solid after you acting like a fool,
I threatened your daughter, but can you reduce me down to plea deals?
Mm-hmm.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
You want to sass me and eat my food at the same time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The moon, the Hierophant before cups. No. There is no reduction of sentences or charges or anything like that. Well, charges, I should say. It is what it is. You have to accept it. It's part of your reality.
No. The ship, the mountain, and the birds. No. This is not being transferred somewhere else. If you're trying to get this transferred or trying to get somebody thrown off, it gets blocked. We're going to hear it, and people are going to talk, and the case is going to move forward. So, no.
Thank you, Jen. It's like, how naive, you little fool, trying to get away with it, and you lied about the hush money that you paid out and everything. Let me look at this one more time. Hell no, you idiot. Hell no. What you must be crazy. Strength in the courts here. They will block that plea deal. But there's something else, and I think it has to do with the gag order or something. There's something else that's going to grow and come out of this. So thank you, Kim. That was my next question. Trump is still threatening, like Michael Cohen. What was that guy's name you just said earlier?
The guy's name, I forget it now. Starts with a P, the last name.
I wrote it down. Where did I write it down?
And that was today. He was threatening Michael Cohen and that other guy today.
Mike Pomerantz.
He was threatening both of them.
And Stormy Daniels. Trump is going after all 3 of them.
When the gag order specifically says, don't do that, and don't post somebody else's post doing that. He's like, I don't need to post somebody else's post. I'm going to do this myself. And broke the gag order. And I'm just like, Mershon, just throw his ass in jail pending trial. And if his lawyers want to sit there and peddle around and take 3 weeks to pick a jury that's 3 weeks, Donald Trump gets to sit his orange behind in jail. At least we'll get some freaking peace and quiet.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, and Michael Cohen's talked about it. Like, he's had to increase security and everything. So are they safe? Are they safe? Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels, Michael Pomerantz.
I'm gonna ask if he's gonna be detained before trial. So that's where I'm gonna go with it. If that's okay, Jen.
Okay.
Takapina knew better. Well, he didn't know better because he still signed on. But he eventually figured out you can't control this guy and I can't defend him. So I got to get out of here before you need a lawyer too.
Cochran is lawyer in the Skewy, don't knock my flowers over. In the documents case is now a witness in the documents case.
You know, another person who talked from prison the other day was Avenatti.
Yeah. You know, we read on, is somebody going to testify from prison in any of his cases? If they keep putting people in prison, they're all going to be there.
Like, this is a person we all seen him get arrested. This is something we anyway. So are they safe? Yes. High Priestess, the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Swords. There is a scheme, but they are defendants. The information is known. The Six of Wands and the Strength. So yes.
And Stormy's been brilliant in her comebacks on Twitter with them, but I get, you know, they are able to block any action that's taken, but I do get they're going to temper the loser. So I don't know how they're going to do that because he's been getting away with all these lies and everything, but I do get like some kind of action is going to be taken against him. So what are you getting, Becca? Are they going to throw him in jail?
I asked, will he be detained pending trial? The child, innocent. The anchor, which is achieving something. And then the cross. Keep it up. Keep it up. Because this would be like persistent suffering and punishment. And then this means you were innocent, but now you're not. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like you messing with the wrong judge. You're messing with the wrong judge, but this is looking like you're going to get punished. And I think Mershon has seen everything else that's happened in all these other trials where how many times did Ngoron find him? And he was like, yeah, whatever. And he just kept doing it. Like, you know, like they draw the line. He goes to the line. He stomps all over it, punches people in the face. And then I'm the victim. Just pop him in the mouth one time. Throw him in prison or in jail for 3 weeks pending trial. That'll shut him up. When he can't reach in his diaper and smear that black stuff all over his face, you know, like.
I just can't get over Lawrence O'Donnell talking about his old pink ears the other night.
And his bad hair. And what else did he say? Because he was making fun of
that brown bronzer or whatever you want to call it. The slathers all over his face and his old pink ears showing.
Lawrence O'Donnell roasted him. That was like that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
He should come on Petty Boots because he was awesome.
Yep.
So will Trump's plane get seized?
Who wants it?
Well, you know, properties, Paris auction.
It probably smells as bad as he does. And not to mention, since he's such a cheapskate, who knows when the last times he's had any freaking maintenance done on that airplane.
That's will get you a hot wheel.
Everything is probably duct taped together with gold duct tape, so it's, you know, more aesthetically pleasing, you know. Oh, it needs some oil. That's okay. Go to the store and get some, you know, some vegetables.
Just slather some bronzer on it.
I mean, so will his plane get seized? And you know what? He's been calling it Trump Force One. Like Air Force One, but Trump Force. Yeah. It's like, I am so sick of him. I really am.
It's not worth enough. It's not worth enough. It's like I get a no. Like Letitia doesn't want it, but she'll secure other things that have value.
I don't get an airplane, I get properties with the house. Not the airplane. Not the airplane, not a boat, not a jet ski, not a golf cart, a property. Property. That gets.
Jody.
Imagine if she starts seizing his freaking golf carts and he's got to walk his fat ass. And hopefully somebody can be a real clown and go get a bunch of gators and throw them on the lawn.
He's got to buy membership to his own golf club.
You know, if I was still in Florida, I'd go get a bunch of gators and let them loose all over Mar-a-Lago.
Can't you imagine, like, if she took Mar-a-Lago, all the people that have membership there, or Bedminster, all the people that have membership, he'd have to reimburse the memberships because suddenly he doesn't own it to let them golf there.
Yep.
I get, no, it's something else. But does he own the plane?
I thought he did.
I'm sure he does. But it's like, well, I'm sure he does. This is saying it's something with his name on it. His name is on the plane too, but this is like something bigger with his name on it. Something that's attached specifically, I guess, to his celebrity. And so since he doesn't own Trump Tower, maybe whatever he owns in it, and then maybe the Mar-a-Lago, since that's attached to his celebrity, and then the golfing thing or something like that. But it's something more important than his plane. He can pawn it, though. Pawn Stars dude might get it and give him $28 for it or something. So he can try that.
Pawn it, Johnny? I mean, he's already been selling pieces of his suit.
Oh. I'm surprised he doesn't, like, you know, do tickets for on his plane or something, like ride with Donald Trump somewhere for $20,000 or something like that. Don't give him no ideas.
So, loser Trump, is Letitia James going to take any of his properties this year? Like before the election? Will she seize any of his properties before the election?
I want to see that.
I do too.
You know,
please, Letitia James, notify all the press so that they're all there to watch. Because I am petty and I want to see him put padlocks on.
I want you to take his keys and put them in your shirt and walk off. That's what I want you to do.
Put him down there with the Kit Kats.
That's what I want to see. Because it was a time there 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. I'm like, okay, let me check the headlines to see if he's been arrested. Let me check the headlines to see if he's been arrested. Never happened. And then one day, he got a mugshot. And it's like, okay, it just takes a while, but there it is. So
and then remember,
one day he will lose all his property because that's the thing he covets the most. And what Spirit is trying to tell him to give you a more broader, higher vibrational message is let go of the material and embrace the spiritual. But he doesn't know how to do that because he's vain and narcissistic. So
remember when he was selling his mugshots, Johnny?
Yes.
I mean, there is
never surrender.
There is no
mugshot, sir. Do you know how you got that?
It's like there is not anything this guy would not sell. I mean, no. He's like a freaking never-ending infomercial, you know, like.
Gracious. This year,
did you hear that? That was Braxy.
I don't know about this year. It will happen under Biden, though. So I guess that's another 5 years or so. But there's a possibility because there's the Hangman and the Page of Wands, which means something is being negotiated to here with the Temperance card. So it's almost like he is trying to delay or push this further and further back. Like, give me 10 more days and I can come up with the scratch type of thing. But no, sir, no, it's not going to happen. It ends in the Two of Pentacles. So again, it kind of, it's a pendulum. It's going, she's ready to. So I would say yes. I'm just going to say yes. She's going to try.
I would agree, because she's going to burden Trump and all his family money and family owned businesses. I get, pack your bags, you're moving, Trump. You ain't going to be living there anymore. She stands on higher ground, and I do get that she takes an action. If she has to have law enforcement there to show strength, she will. But I get a yes.
Can you imagine he's homeless? Which one of the kids is going to let dad move in?
Diaper dad.
Oh my gosh, that would be a great new show for Trump. Like the real housewives of whatever on, the real Trumps, like, so we can all
the real Trumps of Cell Block D. Cell Block D.
Be like Oz reality show.
and unfortunately, there's not enough maggots in this country to where it would be a successful show, but it would be hilarious. I get the heart, the scythe, and the moon. Yeah, and he's going to be heart attack. Like, like when his stuff, because it's going to do serious damage to his fame and his reputation and all that. So,
thank you, Judy.
What's her name? Well, Letitia Jones. Is that what he called her?
They put him in. They put him Letitia Jones. They put him in Letitia Jones.
Oh, you're a man.
Letitia Jones. And they said, the DA said, and it's like, what the hell? Like,
what? It's like, what are you saying?
Yeah, he doesn't even know what he's saying, dude. Like,
well, this is the man who claimed he played football with O.J. Simpson and that he was better than him.
Because he's always the best at everything, Jen. Like Einstein, E=mc². Trump thought of that first, and Einstein stole it from him.
Because he's better than O.J. Simpson at football. I want to know, is he also better than O.J. Simpson at murder?
And other things. What else did you learn from him?
Let's not forget, O.J. was sentenced to 33 years for his theft and all that stuff. He got out in 2017. Supposedly he was already sick or whatever, but he got out under Trump. He got out of prison after only serving 7 years.
Yeah, I see Karen saying he said he ran faster than OJ, and then she put in parentheses bone spurs. Like, yeah, how are you running faster and playing when you got bone spurs, homie?
Was he also better at murder for entertainment purposes only, YouTube? I want to be really petty.
No, because he's not as capable or fast or efficient. The Four of Swords there, so maybe putting someone in the tomb. And then there is the Magician and the Nine of Wands. No, he is quite burdened when it comes to skill, power, and talent in this. Or not burdened, but strained. He's not fast or strong enough, type of thing.
I get the Clover, the Clouds, and the Mice. No, he's too stupid. Scatterbrained, paranoid, and stupid. Like, no. If anything, he would get some. He's the type of person that would take a risk and get somebody else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not himself. Which is what he does now. Plausible deny. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I get a no, but he'd be better at getting away with it. So he would get away with it even better than OJ did, if that's possible. He thinks.
Somebody in the comments had a good point. The pandemic. He killed millions of people because of negligence. Yep. Pandemic.
So, speaking of OJ, I want to be petty a minute. Is he earthbound?
Good God.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Because I feel like he's earthbound.
What's that? the Temperance. It's not a crossover card. It's a reconciliation card.
It's a sit and think about it a minute card.
Knight of Wands. That would be your wandering right there. Okay. One minute. The World, the Seven of Pentacles. So there it is. That's your on the Earth. 10 of Pentacles. The Four of Cups. He doesn't know how. There's something wrong with the transition part. So he may be not just earthbound because he needs to. He doesn't know how to cross over. I don't think he knows where he is. And so there's like a wandering to him. And he also may feel some sort of remorse because he's alone type of thing. Remorse. Because he's alone, but he doesn't know how to move forward. And yeah, there's the Hermit. So I'll stop there.
The Pentacles for me are earthbound because coins metal comes from the earth, and I get a big yes, like he's blocked from going to the other side. He's doing what he's always done, and you know, all these Pentacles, he's tempered, out in the cold from going to a higher place. That's his legacy. And then Two of Pentacles, he's earthbound.
To get
like it's Mr. Epps.
To get off topic here, Spiritual Sean is saying in the chat, not education either, yet selling Bibles. I just watched a video yesterday. I think I sent it to you, Jen, of a guy that was reviewing the Make America Great Again Bible. He said that thing wasn't even worth $20.
I saw that. I saw that video. I have one more question on OJ. The LA Times, when they posted his obituary, misstated OJ's name as Trump's. So when they said that OJ got out of prison in 2017, they said Trump got out of prison in 2017. So it was a mistake. Was it really? Was it an accident? Or was that a deliberate? Was that a Freudian slip?
Freudian slip.
LA Times. Was that an accident? Uh-oh. Johnny just lost his connection.
Speaking of Freudian slips, Mike Johnson made one the other day when he went to go give his lies, the big lie 2.0 speech at Mar-a-Lago. He was like, something hardened criminals, and he went like that and pointed to Trump, who was standing right behind him. I was like, yeah, that would be him.
OJ unplugged my camera. You see that?
He didn't like what we said on the last thing. He's messing with our electronics now.
I mean, it wasn't me kicking it out of the thing just now. It had to be him.
Not Mercury retrograde.
It's retrograde is what I was having that same problem with those USB thingies I kept telling you about a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
That's a no right on the bottom. No. That was not. That was a judgment call, and that was a like an egoic equivalency. Like they're both corrupt. No, that was manipulated on purpose.
Wishful thinking. Except, can we make that change that year? Because we want him to go to prison. Not.
That's right.
He got out of prison in 2017.
Or you can put him in prison in 2017. I'm fine for that. As long as he's still in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's hoping and wishing. There's the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. They want him thrown out and taken down, I suppose. It was not an accident. Well, you can call it an accident if you want, but it was meant to be.
Let's see, maybe one more tonight, and then we're coming back tomorrow night on my channel for everybody. Will there be a conviction in the hush money case? Will Trump be convicted?
I'm going to sit this one out because that's in the grand tableau that I just did too. So I'll see who I'll get.
Becca's got a new Trump GT. And if you missed it, oh Johnny, I didn't hear you.
No, I was just showing you Ace of Pentacles flew out.
Oh, okay. The Becca did a grand tableau the other night on MTG. If you didn't see it, it's a good one.
The one that I did the other day on Trump, I didn't put that one on YouTube. I just took a picture of it and sent it to you of the chart. That one I haven't put up. Which, can I ask one question after you guys are done with this one?
Okay.
Okay.
Will Trump be convicted in the hush money case?
I get yes, but the concept of him going to prison or jail or prison or whichever it is this a felony?
Yeah,
it's a prison. That is up in the air still, because the Four of Swords is the card I get not for incarceration, but a person who has a specific type of incarceration. So like house arrest or some sort of thing that's not in jail or in house or in cell type of thing. It's some other kind of thing. And then there's the Nine of Wands. So there is some sort of pressure and strain around that. But as far as like conviction goes, I think so.
So how does, Johnny, please educate me. How does that work? Because he's convicted and then you have to wait for the sentencing. So could that be the thing that there might, okay, so he's convicted, but then
once you're convicted, normally, like the average person is taken straight to jail, brought back for sentencing. Once you're convicted and guilty, and then even if you're appealing it, you're appealing from jail.
There's something around that. The Nine of Wands is the pressure and the strain. The Four of Swords is the condition of incarceration. He's not a normal citizen. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they would put him in Gen Pop or nothing like that. So this is not, because when you still have Secret Service, because he is still a dignitary of some sort. So,
but it's just weird to me, because it's like, okay, you're a convicted felon on one, you still got 3 more coming, homeboy, that you've delayed. So where is the law that says, okay, convicted former presidents can still keep Secret Service? Like, I ain't paying for that shit. Like,
you're not going to have Secret Service in jail with you. Thank you, Joanne and Chris. I get, like, he thinks he's going to get away with it, but pack his bags, he's moving. He's out in the cold. I do get the court has a victory over him. But there's like a lot of discussion going on about how to protect him in prison. So he's going to be isolated somehow, but I get, yes, he's convicted.
In the grand tableau that I did, the most recent one, not the one that I sent you a picture of, Jenny, because that one's not on YouTube. The most recent one showed a conviction in the spring to the fall. Okay. Well, it shows one in April. Well, obviously he's not going to get convicted in April. Right now, jury, the jury starts this month. So that's probably what that line is, because it cuts out a T like this. So I was seeing the spring through the fall for convictions. And I said that he would be convicted before going into the election. He's going to have convictions before November. The one that I just did a couple of days ago that I sent you a picture on, I have a question on that one.
Okay.
Will there be a search warrant for Bedminster? That's
including hole 1, plot 1.
Because it was weird that I found the coffin in the House of Garden,
which
And
is a
right
cemetery.
before it was the book in the House of Tower. So government secrets. Like I was like, holy shit, I found that. And then underneath it, there's an invitation, and then people coming in with the fox. And I was like, okay, does this mean there's going to be a search warrant? And
I've gotten before that she gets exhumed.
Because that would be hard to do.
Thank you, Joanne.
That would have to be a person coming out and saying, I saw him put that stuff in that coffin and they buried it over there and yada yada yada, like a search warrant, a raid.
I don't remember what it was. Like when you sent me that the other day in texting, I pulled the three Lenormand cards. I can't remember what I pulled now, but it was a yes, I remember.
I mean, can you imagine? I know we've all been, since she died, we've all been check the coffin, it's one thing to speculate, and then for another thing to see it in headlines. Like, he would have to win the award for the craziest mother effing president we have ever had in this country, to steal classified documents and put it in your dead wife's coffin and bury it in your property. Like, that's insane.
Something done in secret, which like a search warrant. I get there's like a whistleblower, and it's funny because everybody on Twitter talks about check her coffin. It's all over the place. Something done in secret. There's strength on this. I get there's an agreement from an investigator. And I get this is something sudden. Boom. Like, yes. So taking it to the courts, there would be the search warrant. They get the power from the judge, and they find evidence.
So keep this in mind. I'm going to tell you what it says, even though I could be skewing this because of the nature of the conversation. So keep that in mind too. But there is the Five of Pentacles, so something missing. The Seven of Swords, something stolen. The Knight of Wands, there is the searching. So, yes, on the search warrant. Now, at the first two cards, though, were the Death and the Five of Wands. So there is some sort of change in conflict. This does center around a familiar person as well, with the Six of Cups. There is the Queen of Pentacles, which is my card for land, maybe golf courses. And also possibly a woman of some sort that you were familiar with, who may be Morte. And then there is the Four of Cups. There is something offered that you may not want, but you have to take anyway. Then the Knight of Swords, someone rushes in and performs some sort of action to move one thing from one place to another with the Six of Swords. So keep that in mind too. But there is a search warrant, yes. Why? I don't know. But
for CC Ryder, that's what I was saying. Like, you're not only searching the property, you're going to have ironclad word of mouth proof from a witness, a whistleblower, like say Walt Nauta or somebody, when they start squeezing their balls going, yeah, he put that 10-inch binder that's missing. That's in that coffin. I put it in there. I know where it's at. Like, you need something ironclad for that judge to go, yeah, go check the coffin. Like, I can speculate. We've all speculated because he's that crazy. He is that crazy to do something like that. But to speculate and then to have it confirmed months down the road, like, breaking news, Ivana Trump's coffin was exhumed and they found 38,000 classified documents along with the 10-inch binder. Can you imagine?
I wonder if it's one of Ivanka's coffins. You know, she got the trademarks for the coffins.
Because he did not put them in there. Somebody else did.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is the one they're going to talk to at some point.
Yeah. Because
they know that documents were put on that plane and sent up there.
Yes.
They know because they have a witness that talked about, I helped load stuff on the plane.
Yeah, so they know that.
Where'd they go?
They're like you said, Jenny, the one guy that went on CNN because Cannon was going to release the names, he's like, I know that they moved that stuff to Bedminster. And we've all been sitting here going, okay, where's the search warrant for Bedminster? you know.
Somebody at Bedminster is going to know, either at Bedminster or the mortuary that supposedly put her ashes in there. Somebody.
Yeah, they had a whole coffin for ashes, and there was like 10 people carrying that coffin. You can find the pictures on the internet. And then they threw her in the back of the freaking golf course and just abandoned her there. Like, there's been pictures all over
make her go away.
Yeah, there's been pictures all over the internet of
all her trauma to her torso from falling down the stairs. Like, no head injuries.
They have pictures, and like her grave marker, it's completely overgrown with weeds and stuff. They literally put her at the edge of the property, way the hell away from everything.
He might be as good as OJ at unaliving somebody. Because her non-disclosure agreement was getting ready to end, so she was getting ready to do a tell-all.
That's just God.
It's crazy. He is just crazy enough to do something like that. Can you imagine a former president hid documents in a coffin, in his ex-wife's coffin
on his property,
on his golf course, and at the golf cemetery that he's opened on his golf course? Y'all thought I was nuts when we were reading that night with Adrian on the golf plots.
Yeah. Well, and then he's getting
next thing we know, 6 months later, he's plopped somebody in on his golf course.
I mean, it's crazy, but we are talking about the guy that ate classified documents too. Like, remember when those reports came out that he would just sit there and eat them? It's like, what are you, a goat? Like, you have to be wrong in the head. Something's not working up here. If you think a good way to get rid of classified information is to eat the paper it was printed on, like,
he flooded his own basement from the pool.
That was on purpose to get rid of the evidence.
Right. He flooded his own basement. Is there anything else before we go? Is there anything else crazy he's done
that we haven't heard
that
about?
We don't know about yet? Is there anything else like that, like flooding his own basement, burying his ex-wife on the golf course, and hiding documents?
He flooded the basement to get rid of the evidence on the servers of them moving the documents around.
The surveillance videos.
But then he was flushing classified documents and stuff and eating them while he was in the White House. Remember, he was complaining about the toilets, there's no pressure. And then we find out because he was shoving all the classified documents down the toilet.
And he had the hidden room also that he had more boxes in at Mar-a-Lago.
So what other crazy stuff has he done?
Is there anything else crazy that he has done, just off the wall crazy, that we can't even imagine that's going to come out? There's my evidence card on something.
Be so far out there, I don't know what this is even saying.
There's something they're going to look at differently. That definitely there's something that like would be considered routine normally, but something happened and it wasn't routine. There's evidence of something like a routine thing, like riding around on a golf course or something that's routine for him, that there's evidence around. And it's him. It's connected to him and his home or his golf club, golf park. And he was blocking DOJ from getting access to it. I'm getting kind of a spa feeling from this, like healing in the home, like something he did maybe at the spa, with the spa part of Mar-a-Lago or something. Is there a spa there?
Probably.
Or at
Some resort,
Bedminster,
so-
one of his properties, like a spa. Definitely something coming up in a court case. They're going to look at it differently, like, oh, what's going on here? There's bribes. There's bribes also.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. There's payoffs. I think there might be payoffs around, like, women they paid for, if that makes sense. Like at the spa, like getting a massage or something. There's something very Mr. Epps-ish.
And that one girl, that one of the many girls that had no problem being in the Trump administration, gaslighting America until the insurrection happened, and that was just a line too far, has come out. I forget the name because there's been too many of them, that came out and said that they would have to get him to stop harassing female workers at the, staff, aides and stuff like that. Like, it's just like, ugh, So I wouldn't be surprised, Jen. He's just a sick puppy.
This is the manipulation of something stolen, and a name is replaced. And so it's almost like he has taken the product of somebody else and put his name on it. Or taken, the name is replaced. So if it's like you get his MAGA hats from China and just put America over the China sticker or something. It's literally something like that. There is manipulation, but it's stolen. But this is like an international shipment of some sort, because there's your Six of Swords, which is over the water, and then the Two of Wands, which is an international card for me too, or the potential or something worldwide or something that could go in multiple directions. But there's the manipulation of something he would get from there, the Seven of Wands, which would be the gaslighting, and then the Ace of Wands, which is a new action. So it's like trying to make you believe this is a Trump product when it is somebody else's.
And he did it all with a Sharpie. He did it all
but it's some sort of product because it's creative in nature. So like his hats or his shirts or his Bibles or something. But there's something with his name on it that actually belongs to somebody else legitimately, because this is stolen. It's not like he bought it and just scratched out Timu and put his name. No, this is literally somebody else's thing. And then he just
The fake face. It even looks like him behind the mask.
So instead of, Coca-Cola, he's got Cocaine-Cola and just put Trump on it or something and then sold it to you.
He probably stole Biden's mental health yes.
I still get the stuff in the coffin. It's the coffin, the mountain, the ship, the lilies, and the birds. So coffin and mountain, it could be literal, like boxes inside of a coffin that you can't get to. And also because the mountain is in reference to enemies, foreign enemies, that he has been all lovey-dovey talking on the phone with. So maybe transcripts of phone calls, recordings of phone calls, something about enemies abroad, maybe something here about a foreign person, like a prime minister of some sort, like they're higher up, could be something also literally about boats and ships.
Yeah.
That's what I just get more stuff inside the coffin. Wow. So, it's just, that was the U-Haul for when he moved out. He's like, throw everything in Ivana's coffin, And
He
that
changed the name of U-Haul to Trump Hall.
yeah. So
Thank you all for joining me for my birthday today, and thank you for all the birthday wishes and all the super chats. We will be on my channel tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, for regular Petty Boots. Continue going to my community tab and giving us more questions. I still have quite a few we didn't get to today, but you can give us more overnight if you like.
and
And
Lori,
thank you, Becca and Johnny, for joining me for my birthday. I'm going to keep a little smaller celebration this year, not have 20 different readers on like we usually do.
Lori will be on with us tomorrow too, correct?
Right, Lori from the Way of Positive Change is joining us tomorrow night.
Yep.
But
so
nothing like having a birthday party with 1,400 of your closest friends
and the kitty cats.
and the kitty cats.
And Braxy over there snoring on the. I hope you can't hear her because she's.
Hey, that's my pony. You have to have a pony at every birthday party.
There you go, Braxy. That's what you're going to be for Halloween. You're going to be My Little Pony unicorn. I'm going to get you a little. It's cool.
Strap a little person in a saddle on her back.
Uh-huh.
Well, good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Bye bye.